This is Raising Bosses. I'm your host, Shauna J. Ray, and on this podcast, it's a space for parents, dreamers, and entrepreneurs who believe that nurturing a family and building success can go hand in hand. These are real stories, heartfelt strategies, and a reminder that your family and your goals can grow together. So stay tuned. Thank you guys again for joining us back here on Raising Bosses. My name's Shauna J. Ray. I'm going to be on here, guys, talking to you on here about a lot of different subjects. So if you guys tuned in, hopefully you guys have gone through and listened to the other podcast episodes, the first season. While they are older, they are still always going to be relevant because all of the things that we've talked about in those podcasts have come across and have different ways that you could still use them in 2025, 2026. So we're starting this back up at the end of 2025 for the new season. I had to jump right in. So if you guys listen to the intro podcast episode to the second season, we've started back up and we've broadened up things a little bit here. And I'm still talking about business, guys. Everything is pretty much about business, but I am going to inject a more personal element to it because while I've shared a lot of stories, I've had some new things come up in the last few years. I don't even know how long I haven't been on this podcast, but it's been at least 4 years since I've done anything with this podcast. And I want to come back and bring value again and bring inspiration to you guys. So I was like, I have to share with you guys what's been going on. So as you guys know, I've had a whole bunch of transitions, a whole bunch of changes in the last few years. If you've listened to the last episode, because I did share a little bit, and I told you guys, as I go along, some of the things that I share and build onto my stories will be more relevant then. So I'm going to broaden on a lot of these things when it comes to that. But for right now, I'm just sharing a little here and there because you'll get the picture as we go along. And, you know, obviously I don't want to make this a 5-hour podcast episode. So I got to break it up a little bit somewhere, right? So you guys understand that. So yeah, I've had quite a few changes. We last probably left off. We were, me and my family, we lived in our apartment. And if you guys have joined on my personal pages, personal social media, Shauna J. Ray, you guys would have seen us, you know, we were traveling for a little bit. We traveled for about a year. So that was really cool. We got to see, you know, half of the east side of the world. It was pretty awesome too. I did try to, you know, make it enriching as we went along, of course. So we've had a few changes in the last few years, and I've had several moving changes. Like I said, we did travel. The travel that I did was with my now ex-husband. We did get divorced a few years ago, and he worked as a travel electrician, so we traveled with him. And that is something that was a great experience because I got to experience a lot of things with my girls at that time. And they, you know, we got to learn together a lot of stuff because I'd gone places with them we'd never gone. That was really nice. And we got to share that as a family. So I come back on here now we were moving. So the way that worked is we were actually moving. We were in hotels because for his job, there were hotels. So it was like, you know, just in different hotels, we made it work. It was, you know, we made it work. We wanted to do something broader. But that just didn't pan out, and things happen for a reason, and that's fine. But we had quite an experience with that. So I'm glad to have shared that with my girls. And shortly after, about a year in, is when we separated. So we separated, and it has been big changes, right? So my kids are not homeschooled. So that's one thing. They're in school now. So between that's a different aspect because it does take a different time scale right now, because for the last like 2 years, I believe it is, they've been quite kind of, it's a bit of a drive. So it's like a couple 100 miles a day, or over 100 miles a day rather. So time wise, it's not as effective with certain things, getting things done. So we have less time in that sense, but I've made use of my time when because obviously we share time, right, with the kids. So, excuse me, guys, I think I'm still losing my voice. But so the time shift is different, is why I speak on that. So now I've always talked to you guys about making the most out of your time. So that's what I still continue to do. And I had similar challenges before in marriage and with the different things that I had going on, just in life at that time. And I always spoke on with you guys of never letting those challenges get in your way, letting those challenges stop you from finding the time, essentially. So I'd like to just kind of say, with a lot of things, I've found that like pocket, I guess you could say, and I've grown a lot from it. Excuse me. So usually, no matter the downtime, I'm trying to still learn. You guys know I love a good YouTube binge with learning, audiobooks binging. I love all that stuff. So in all of these transitions, you guys, I did some things that I've been wanting to do for quite some time. Some of these are childhood dreams. Some of these are things that as an adult, I just thought kind of be like, hey, it'd be cool. And I'm doing those things now. So that change right there has been a burst for me in the last few years of these changes. So I've come on here and I want to share with you guys, because this is all in the same realm of what I've been speaking on for a very long time. And it's things like this that I've carried through with, even in the down times, even in the times that it's like really hard. And as I share my story, you guys will understand. I don't know if it's a typical story, but you might know somebody that's had a similar story. God forbid you've also may be familiar with it on your own. But these changes are some of the things that can keep people really in a place not wanting to move forward. And I want to be one of those voices in your head that it's like, no, you can do it, because it's a lot of things in life that are going to throw you for a loop and a half, okay? A lot of things. And no matter what side of the coin you're on, changes are going to be a challenge occasionally, if that's the best word for it. I'd say a challenge. So basically, even when you want a change, you have to make certain things happen to make that change. So it could still be difficult, So you might want to start a business, but there are changes you're going to have to make, routines you're going to have to make, time frames and productivity you're going to have to put together. And if you already have a business, that is something you might need help with balancing. So that's why I come on here and talk to you guys about these things. And even though I try not to beat myself up, because you guys know I'll be like, oh, but I could have done this sooner, and this way, I could have fixed this, and this could have happened sooner. I talk to you guys about my transition into my new business. So if you guys have been chiming in, I did speak on this for the first episode as well, but I have a notary business now. And I don't just do notary. I don't just do notarizations. I do a lot more than that. And I'm going to be talking about that with you guys too, because again, that's a part of the changes. So, and the new and a part of, I guess, as a transition, I feel like I use transitions in a different way, but it's something new because, as you guys know, I originally started as a content creator, building my brand, Shauna J. Ray. That's my personal, I share with you guys my day-to-days and stuff like that and things I have going on. And I wanted to build some type of business for a long time. I've always thought about being like a real estate agent, and I am also a real estate agent. That happened about 6 months ago. And so it's December 2025. It happened in March. It's a little bit more than 6 months, but less than a year. And so like things like that. So I started a notary business in March of 2024. I became a notary, and I decided to start. Actually, I didn't preface this part in the first one. So I explained how it had been like sparked attention to me as a child to be a notary. And then in the separation, while doing the divorce, I stayed with my mom, and her neighbor was actually a notary. And it was one of those things like, well, maybe I should, now that I'm, let me see if I can. And I thought about it, and I forgot to tell you guys that after I left my mom's house, where I went to stay next, I got like a new group of friends, and one of the people was currently in school, and they had mentioned about, it was like one of those things in the movies. It's like God keeps knocking, and it's like, hey, I know you heard me. I know you heard me. You probably should do the thing I told you about. And this person had mentioned how their professor in school had told them about being a notary is good for whatever they were going to school for. And I turned to them and I was like, are you kidding me? It had been probably 3-4 months after, like I said, I had dealt with the notary next door and how convenient it was. And it was like I didn't follow through with it at that time. And so something was like, you know what, let me just look it up. So they sent me the information, and I went on a binge, YouTube and all this. And I was just like, you know what, this person brought it up, and this is getting closer and closer to me. Now it's a personal person, like it's a personal, someone I'm close to, talking about it or doing it or looking at whatever it was, but bringing it up in general. So I jumped at that point. That was my turning point. They sent me the information. I started budgeting. I started looking into different things so that I could become a notary. And I found a really good commissioning. The place that commissioned me was great because I was able to do the notary and the remote online notary all at once. And it made it a lot easier because of the way the platform was set up. It was kind of one payment all together. You do one thing and then you start the other, and the breakdown and everything like that, instead of either doing 2 different platforms or having 2 different transactions like most of the ones that I found. And it was reasonably priced when I priced out the other ones that were separated. So I was really happy about that. I will try to link that below if you guys are interested. And please make sure you guys are commenting to let me know if you guys want to know more information about any of the things that I'm saying, so that I can have it in my next episodes. You guys can DM the page as well on Facebook and on Facebook and on Instagram. It's Raising Bosses. You guys DM there some questions or things like that, or inquiries about anything in the podcast episodes. But yeah, so I started that, and then I became a loan signing agent as well. So a month later, actually, and then get this, guys, I didn't even know what a loan signing agent was. So I didn't really know what a notary was when I started. It was just that it kind of felt like, how do I put it? It felt like something that put me in the right, frame, like that business frame. I was raised in business and business culture and things like that. So it just felt right. And I was like, you know what, I'll be around people that are doing certain things that, I don't know. It just like being, I don't know how else to call it. It just felt really official. So I was like, let me look into it, and became a notary. And then more learned what in depth they do. Right. So then I started hearing all these things about loan signing agent. I was like, what is a loan signing agent? I didn't even understand it. I'll be honest with you guys. I probably still didn't understand it until after I passed the test. I still was like, so what do I do? And I figured it out because I'm going to binge watch some YouTube and things like that. I figured it out, but it's just to say you don't have to know everything to start. I'm laughing at myself because I'm saying that to you guys on the podcast. Saying it out loud is so funny because I literally did not know what any of these things was, and I just did it. And like I'm saying this to you guys, and I'm like, hey guys, stop trying to learn everything and not jump. Just jump. You'll learn it. You'll figure it out afterwards. So in the process of becoming a notary, I actually started learning what a notary does. And even after my first, second, probably like 10th notarization, I still was like, am I even like I think I understand it. I'm on these groups. I'm listening to everything. I got the NNA on my the NNA, the National Notary Association. I have them on speed dial, so I'm asking them questions at every signing. So like I'm making sure I'm doing things right. Like, but I'm just telling you guys this because a lot of times we're like, yeah, I want to start when I have a PhD in XYZ that I want to do. And then that's our reasoning for not starting. And I just don't want y'all to do that. And I won't let y'all fall into that excuse cycle because that's what it is. Because it's not a real type of reason, you know? A real reason is like physically not being able to do something. Not just being like, yeah, I don't want to because I don't feel comfortable yet. Because what if you jump into it and you're like, dang, this is actually easier than I thought. Honestly, the guys, bringing it back, this podcast was one of those things. I had always wanted a podcast. I was a very ambitious child. I always wanted a podcast growing up. I mean, a radio station, like a station, not just a show, a station. So I wanted a radio station so I could come on and talk. Yes, guys, I was that child in school. But anyway, so I had decided, and I think 2017, that's when I started really pushing my Shauna J. Ray brand and things like that. I had decided to start a podcast, and I was like, I'll start it. You know, I'll figure it out. I'll figure out what I need, whatever. But me, you know, if you will, my ADHD kicked in and was like, just look into it, guys. There's nothing wrong with that. Just look into it. If I look into it, at least I know what I'm prepared for, right? That's usually my initial thinking on things. So I look into it, and then I'm like, at the time, I always tell people start with whatever you have. And a lot of these things that we want to do, you can start on your phone. So I had the computer, and because I did like YouTube and stuff, I had mics and cameras and stuff. So like I didn't have to get equipment. I just had to figure out how to like record and like put it on stuff. So I wanted to try to do it kind of official. Got a nice little thing. Or actually, no, I didn't have a microphone. I didn't have a microphone yet until after I had started the podcast. I got one as a gift. I had started it, and the day that I started to go record on my like iPad, the iPhone wired headphones, I was given the microphone. So I did have a mic after the fact. But anyway, so I was going to start with just my headphones and my computer. I would have started with my phone if I didn't have the computer or tablet or whatever. And I literally looked into a podcast for probably like a week. And just learning all the things. And I was just like, not even all the things, just kind of learning like the basic stuff. And I was like, I could do this. I already do YouTube. Like I already get videos and all this other stuff, editing and stuff like that. Audio's nothing. So I'm going to start. So I started the podcast, and, you know, I started the podcast just like that. So I tell you guys, like, start there. You can just start by like initially, like even manifestation wise, I like to, you know, put my foot forward. Like if you're shopping, if you're trying to manifest something, look at accessories or whatever, like whatever the thing is, look for more information about it. Start putting it around you more. So that'll help you kind of push forward and be like, that'll help you push forward and you know, be able to just start to at least get a basis, because sometimes we also I don't know what to say, catastrophize. I don't know if I'm probably saying it wrong anyway, but like we think it's all or nothing. We like have all of these extra thoughts. Like sometimes it's not even excuses. We like legitimately think we have to do too much. And my example I always give people is like when I talk about YouTube, I remember people would always say things like, oh, I would love to start a YouTube, but, and it would be like insert insecurity, insert not feeling ready, stuff like that. And I would always be like, what are you being ready for? Like, is it a movie? Like you're wanting to vlog, like just start putting a camera in your face. Like, I don't understand. And I did have to like sympathize, because sometimes I'm just like so matter of fact about things, but I did start to try to like put myself in like those places. Because not to say I don't have not to say I don't have insecurities or don't feel like I'm never ready, or, like, it's not that. It's just that I just kind of ignore it. But with that being said, like, that is to say, like, not everybody could just ignore it and keep moving forward. And I had to, like, take understanding there. And I started being like, okay, well, what is your issue? I started, like, digging deeper, and I'd be like, so let me ask you, what's the issue for real? And they'd be like, well, I don't have a, $5,000 camera, and I don't have a studio to record in. And, I'm exaggerating here, but you get what I'm saying. Like, people would need, like, studio equipment to vlog or, like, make videos about them, like, cooking. And I'd be like, guys, like, and this is 2017. I'm like, all these iPhones and good phones that we have, that is not an excuse. You could do, like, back then, you could literally start everything then on your phone, because we have smartphones and they're practically computers, and all of us have tablets, and they're even better than the phones for certain stuff. So I would always be like, come on. So backstory again, because again, relevant to what I've done. When I started YouTube, I actually started YouTube twice. I first went natural, and I went natural before it was popular. And when YouTube got started, everybody was like, oh my God, I wish you would make a YouTube. So for my hair, I started a YouTube. I lost the job that I had the computer to record on, so I didn't have that computer anymore, so I kind of stopped. And one day, my sister, who's on YouTube, shout out Ayana Lewis, she's on everything too. She and my cousin, I don't know what her YouTube name is right now, but they had started their YouTubes again. They had started, like, being active on their YouTubes again. And she made a comment to me, like, I wish you were part of this, like, hey, everybody's trying to grow. Like, let's do this. This was in 2015, 16. And I literally was like, it was the middle of the day, and I was like, she's right. And I had an iPhone 5 at the time, or an iPhone 4 at the time. I can't even remember. I had the 4 for so long, and, like, the 5 had been out. So I can't remember I think I had just gotten the 5 maybe. But basically, I literally was like, you know what? She's right. What can I make first? So I think I had to, like, restart the channel. I think I had restarted the channel already a couple of weeks before. And I, like, was like, okay, cool. I'm going to do a video. Somebody had said something to me about, like, how do I moisturize my natural hair? And I was like, I just make, like, this conditioner mix and I just spray it. But, like, I did it a certain way at the time. So, like, I wanted to show that. So I was like, whatever. I went in the bathroom. I put the camera. I didn't even have a tripod. I had nothing like that yet. I propped it up. I didn't even have a tripod for, like, years, guys. Propped it up and on the countertop, and just was like, guys, I mix these two things together, and this is, I spray my hair, boom. And I did that, and then I, like, re-edited a video off my other YouTube channel that I had started years before that. And I started off my phone. And funny story is, the sister that said that, she actually started on, like, a tablet and, like, a Mac computer back in, like, the mid 2000s. And obviously those cameras were not good. Even when I started my first YouTube channel, those cameras were horrible. We started on those cameras. We started with our phones. I used to sit in a dark room with red walls and, like, record these videos you could barely see of me doing my hair, and people loved it. And that was back in, like, the mid 2000s, or the 2010s. And people asked for it. I wanted it. I did that. I grew my channel, and then I stopped. And this is why I tell you guys to restart. Like, that's another reason restarting this podcast. I don't ever stop restarting. Okay. I will always restart. I will always try again. I will always revamp. And, yes, restarted the channel, and, guys, I could have been even more consistent than I already was. And I was very consistent throughout these years. I've restarted 100 times. I've had 100 hangups, setbacks, and things like that. And I keep restarting. And that's what I'm doing right now. Rebuilding, restarting, getting it together all over again. And I've started a lot of stuff from scratch. I've started so many things from scratch. And so I speak a lot from the fact that I have done so many things from scratch. I feel well versed in telling y'all, like, hey, it's not always easy. It's rarely easy, but you can do it. And there's ways to like put your mind in that way to get restarted. So I want to just kind of like let you guys like know that like I've restarted 100 times this podcast. I want to stay as consistent as possible. I'm going to record as much as possible because I do like just coming on here and talking to you guys like this. I will start having live episodes as well that you guys can chime in and ask questions, interviews, things like that. And I want you guys to talk about topics or I want you guys to tell me topics you want me to bring up so I can talk about them for you. But this is why I'm going to go in depth and be more, I was already transparent, but like, I guess I was already transparent, but this is a new, more vulnerable transparency, I guess you could say, or at least it feels that way. And I don't know how else to share my story of where I am now without it, because that's literally why I am where I am. Because even being a notary, I had to get a notary for my divorce. And I happened to get so lucky to save money with the notary that was next door, bless her. The time convenience, and it just sparked it in my mind to even start then, right when I had my separation, right when I started my divorce. And then getting into a new friend group in a secondary transition, then it was sparked again, and that's when I jumped. And so I don't know how else to tell this story without telling you guys these deeper details and like getting in depth and like showing you like this has not been a one-step process, one straight field or anything like that, and don't expect it to be. Plan for the bumpy road. And I'm glad that I've gone through certain things in life and come out with the understanding and the learning of how to do better next time, or how I was grown in a strength of knowing I can get there and do it and get it done. That's also why it's kept me here. So sometimes I do have to remind myself like, hey, remember last time? Remember when it was similar to this and you did it? And that's what this process has been. So I've thought about being a notary years ago. I've never looked into it. Now, with this experience, I've looked into it. I became a loan signing agent, didn't know what a loan signing agent was, got the certification, and I was like, so I had all the books too, guys. I bought all the books. I'm a bookworm, and I'm one of those people that's like, give me all the information. And it's not overwhelming for me. I will search it out. And no matter if I know what I'm talking about, I still will go and search deeper information. So when I became a loan signing agent, it was like, okay, I don't really understand what I'm doing, but I'm going to understand how to do it. If that makes any sense, guys, if that makes any sense, that's how my brain works. So if I can figure out what I'm supposed to do, tell me the steps, tell me what and where and why, that much I understood. So that saved me right in itself. I just didn't understand how to explain what I did. What is the purpose of what I do? I just know how to do it. And I'm telling you guys, if you have an interest, especially to be honest, at least for me, if you have an interest in something, one, I know how to monetize. I'm going to toot my own horn, but not that loud. But basically, I feel like I know ways to monetize just about anything. Okay. And you don't have to be a salesman. It's just I know avenues, I know things. And so if there's an inkling you have in something to do, especially if it is money, there's money in proximity to it. So what I mean by that is maybe you're not doing it just for money. Okay. Did I want to build a business to make money? Yes. Did I find being a notary something I could do that with? Yes. However, my biggest thing was I realized how much people needed a notary and how I don't know how the field, I don't know how you would call it. It's not oversaturated. And a lot of people don't tell people they're a notary. So we're going to the bank, we're going to Amscot. But being this is something I could help people with. Cause I said, she helped me. Okay. And I actually got to do something similar. But like she helped me. Like that was the thing. It was like I needed her, and not only did she help me because she was there and convenient, it was just like, wow, I needed you so much. And like that was really what sparked me in the first place. So it was like I can help people. Like there's going to be some paperwork that they need some, notarization on. And like, I've been there. I've been to an emergency notary I've done that before, go to somebody's house and have them notarize something you couldn't do at the bank or couldn't have time to do at the bank. So in my head, they helped people. So maybe you don't start because of money. Yes, I did want to build a business to make money. And I was like, well, I can help people and do the same thing. But you guys might have something like that you're just like, well, I could make money from it. Or maybe it's, obviously it's just something that you're going to make money from. Some things are just, you do it and you make money from it. You definitely, if there's monies that you can make from it, but it's something you like to do, I think or it sparked you should. I think you should pursue it. And especially I give myself tears because I am one of those people, I get interested in stuff and like I have to give myself like, I don't like boundaries, I guess. Is that the word? Like, like a budget, like how much I'm willing to invest in this. Like, okay, like, do I need every accessory? Do I need okay, let's get a 3-in-1 tool and let's, like I want to break it down like that. So I don't buy or like indulge myself in every single thing. But when it came to being a notary, I was able to do that in a different way because I've expanded on my business as a notary because I'm not just a notary. And then I became a loan signing agent. I'm not just those two things. But I do a lot of different things as well on top of my service as a notary. And I wanted to share that with you guys too. Again, this is for anyone interested in being a notary, or if you are a notary currently, these are some things that you might not be aware of. Of course, it does vary from state to state. I am in Florida, so I will let you guys know that these are the rules in Florida. Not everywhere has these same rules. You just got to check in the state that you're going to be commissioned in. But some people are just curious and just want to know, things. But I do encourage people to be a notary. It's really cool. Like I said, I love helping people, and I've been able to do certain things for people, and I continue to put myself out there so that I can do more. And I'm really excited about what's to come. And I'm excited to be able to share it with you on the podcast again. But so I've expanded, and I want to speak on this as well because I want to preface this. Like I said, I'll be like, oh, my ADHD. A lot of people are just do one thing. So I said earlier that I had a YouTube channel. I also got burnt out by the idea of only doing one type of content, only doing hair videos, even though I do my hair, but it was not I didn't want that to be the top basis of my channel. So, my next channel, I just did everything. Let's be honest. And it's also a lot to take care of all these different pages and stuff like that. So I wanted to just do everything. And I know that a lot of people would be like, oh, just focus on one thing. And it's not to say don't focus on just one thing. It's that, one, there's nothing wrong with focusing on or, having multiple things to focus on. But also, too, when it comes to business, you have to learn how to expand and adapt and grow. So as a notary in Florida, you can charge travel fee plus $10 a stamp. Now, a lot of people don't come to you needing 100 stamps. So you're not going to get, and they don't need, mileage and stuff like that. So when you break it down in that sense, you're not going to be able to actually make this profitable, make this, something that you can be even getting a proper income on. So you have to know how to, one, market yourself because people need to know what you do. And two, and I always say this, marketing is the top thing that people I don't want to say fail. It's not fail, but they kind of get shied away from. And so that's what really can hurt the business is because people don't know what you do. There's nothing wrong with your business. People just don't know what's there. Just saying. And this is another reason why I speak a certain way and I talk about these things because I want you guys to be confident to get out there and let people know what you do. But also knowing what types of business you can do as a notary. And I'm always researching this. So as a notary, one of the most interesting things I found out, I did not know this when I became a notary. I found this out months later. But in Florida, not everywhere again, guys, but in Florida, you can officiate weddings just because you're a notary. And I found that out and I started advertising. I did get one wedding. I hope to do more. I keep advertising for it, but I did a wedding on Valentine's Day 2005. So this year, yeah. So February of this year. And I'd been one since March of the year before. So I found it out, and then I went online and I tried to figure out if there's like any background steps or anything I need to know about being one. And I found some videos on YouTube. I found some books and stuff like that, some audiobooks and books and audiobooks. But like I researched it, but it's really nothing to learn. Like nothing in depth to learn. It's more of like basic steps. But then if you want to like actually market yourself in that direction as like also an officiant in certain area, you know, you do want to, learn some stuff. It's not one of those things you need an actual course for, like, to do it just because you're a notary in Florida. So, so I made sure I add that to the list because I just thought that was so cool, right? Like, I can sign documents before and after your wedding for your children, and I can marry you guys. So when I say that I can help people, like, I love that. Like literally in every life transition, I can help you. Like I look at it being a notary, like, the family, say a young couple, they want me to do documents for them because something before the marriage, then I officiate their wedding. Then they have a kid and then they need something notarized for that child. They go to school, they need things notarized for the child. Then they need to buy a house. I'm also a real estate agent. So like I can help them with the house. I can help them with the loan from a different house. I can help them with any documents around doing things with the house. I can, there's so many things I can do just being a notary and a loan signing agent for one family and just, for their whole life experience. I just think that's the coolest idea. But that's literally how I look at my business. I want to grow connection like that with people. I want to, sell their house, officiate their weddings, help them with their documents and just watch their life just like get better and things like that, just good things happening. At least that's the idea, guys. That's where my mind goes. That's how I look at it. But yeah, so expanding on that, so I added that to the service, wedding officiant, and I do want to do more weddings. I keep advertising it. I'm going to keep talking about it. And if you guys want to know more, of course, ask. I also do apostilles. I haven't done one yet. I got some, again, it's not something you need a course in. I want to let you guys know when it comes to certain things. I tell you this all the time. A lot of stuff is free, and I love a course because a course tells you A to Z, 1, 2, 3, right? But a lot of people get hung up on thinking they need a course to start. And now, while I want you guys to know what you're doing, and if the course is going to teach you how to do it better or know more insight to it and teach you on a level that you understand, then definitely take the course. I am a YouTube person first. I'll find a book about it person first, but it depends on what it is. And if I don't need a course for it, I probably will go course free. But I don't disregard courses. I just want you guys to know when you don't need it to start. Okay? Point. So save your money if you can learn it a different way. But yeah, so I do them. I guess I also haven't really advertised for them yet, but I did just restart back on like heavy advertising. The last transition, or one of the most recent transitions, was having my own place, and that's been a settling thing. So like I got settled, so I have been restarting a lot of things, but I did take a little pause. Like I said, guys, always taking pauses. It wasn't really a pause. I just kind of wasn't active and like wasn't able to take certain work a couple of months in. So due to all the transition and moving around and things like that. But yeah, so I wasn't able to do that. So I took a little pause or whatever. But yeah, so I need to start advertising for that. So this is like the first time I've said it since probably putting it on paper, on like a post or something. But apostilles, those are like more international documents that need to go internationally. So there's certain steps and things like that to do for certain things. So, and there's like a lot of movement with those documents. So I did learn how to do those. So I have to open up that I do those. Those are like a separate thing, but like you don't always need to notarize those. But like a notary, it's great that they do them because sometimes you need to notarize them. So 2-in-1 with that one. So also another thing that I do is fingerprinting. Fingerprinting is really simple. I do the ink fingerprinting. If I get the funds up, I'll definitely also include the electronic fingerprinting. Those are really, that's really two good things. So for the ink fingerprinting, there is, again, no need for a course. I did take like a little short one. It was like a little video course because, like I said, I wanted to understand. It wasn't expensive. But you don't need a course. It's just something that I thought that would break it down a little bit better than what I could find online already. And it did. It helps a lot. It's not much to learn. So if you guys are a notary already or like thinking about when becoming a notary, I would tell you to add it to the things that you do. And it's very simple. You can buy the ink and the pads and stuff like that on Amazon. But then also the clientele may bring the card too. And basically just advertise for it and get ready. Just help people stamp their fingers, write off all the document and information. And I would suggest letting people know, hey, if you have any notarizations, bring them with you too, because can't hurt. I always try to tell people about my notary side as well. But so I'm going into depth of the things that I do. But like telling you guys, you can focus on one thing, but can you branch out? Can you grow? Can you expand? I really want to let you guys know you should always be expanding and learning and growing in your business as well. So with the notary business, like I said, I just kind of expanded on it. I kind of was like, what else can I do? What else can I do? Who else can I help? How else can I help them? And I just kept going. Early on, I used to promote this, but I don't really talk about it enough. But my concierge services. So I'm trying to get connections because I do a lot of things that I am connected with different people. So when people need something, I'm always like, oh, I know somebody that. And so I want to kind of showcase that part. And like, if you needed to kind of like a virtual assistant, if you need to get things done, scheduled, errands put to, organized or something like that, on that type of scale is what I do, depending on, of course, what the person needs. I don't advertise it enough, but if someone called me and needed something, I would find a way to help you. And you don't have to focus on one thing, you see. So in the notary business, depending on what you're doing, you may be able to do the same thing. So, for instance, if you were a photographer, you could do pictures for literally everything. You could be more, I'm just a wedding photographer. I'm just a baby shower photographer. But maybe you're like, wait, I want to help the babies. I want to help the weddings. I want to help, the real estate agents with their houses. Like, you could expand on your photography business. It's nothing wrong with that. And you could expand outside of just photography as well, because there are things additionally that you could do that don't maybe include photography so much, but because you have like connections to certain things, you're engrossed in that. So with notary, a lot of it is because you're commissioned. It's like they hold you to a certain regard. So it's like, it's really good that you do this thing because you're a notary, and then sometimes they need notarization. So it's like a double for a lot of the things. So like another thing is like permit running. Sometimes permits need notarizations. If you're a notary and you permit run for these construction places and things like that, you can notarize for them and then go run the permit, vice versa, what have you. So these are things to consider if you're becoming a notary or already a notary, of course. But whatever you do in your business, expand in what you do in its entirety, but like also outside of that. One of the other things that I want to do as a notary, this is the next, I have two next goals because I just want to segue this real quick. I have two goals. One is to get my, Google digital marketing certificate. I started it and then I didn't work on it, and it's a monthly subscription, so I couldn't. Money got tight in some of these transitions, so I haven't gotten started back on it, but I do know I could finish it and get that. And getting my court reporting certifications, and I'm going to talk on that in a second. But in my new apartment, I had the idea of having what I call my accomplishment wall. I have my certifications, my licenses, and things like that on the wall, framed on the wall all together, like right in front of my bedroom door, so I can see them every day and see my accomplishments. And I want to keep adding to that. So one of the next things that includes having a certification is that is court reporting. So I never wanted to be like a lawyer or anything. I think my brain is more like in a detective mode. So I think that I like mysteries and stuff like that. So I've heard people talk about court reporting and like being into like those like courtroom things and like it being interesting for that matter. Like it's something you like to do. So like just kind of inferencing that like what I like ties in in some form. Like I could find it interesting to do this job. It's not just data entry to me. But I found that interesting, and I've looked into stenography before, and it's a little bit more in depth than what I am prepared for right now. So when I found out that court reporting is one of those like in that direction, and because again, being a notary, when you're in the court, they can actually need a notarization. I've done this actually. I actually did this in my divorce. I actually needed a notarization, and I guess she was probably the court reporter there, notarized it for me. So again, guys, like I keep telling you guys of times that I've needed a notary and like it being like so convenient, like just being like that in itself was convenient. So that's why I'm a mobile notary and I'm online and things like that. Cause I just like, I need all the convenience for people. I need to be get as convenient as possible to help people, the more I can help you. So being a court reporter, you can get that. And another thing that I love about being a court reporter is that it is remote and in person. So you have options there. You can just do remote. You can do both. You can just do in person. But you know me, guys, I love to be online as well. In person is for special occasions to me, right? Like, so as much as I can do online, I will. And then from there, as much as I can do, I'll whatever I can reach to, like, oh, I have that day. I can go that day. I'll take that, one. So that's the next one I'm going to get into, and I will be sharing that with you guys here. I actually follow a notary on Instagram. I believe it's Apex Notary. This is just one of those, like, I guess I'm supposed to do it now. I had looked into it like a couple months ago and I was like, I can't really figure it out. And then, he shared his story about becoming a court reporter and how convenient it's been, adding it to his notary services, doing it virtually, and had reached out to him and he was like, yeah, definitely do it. So, he had, he doesn't gatekeep. So I went to, the, website of the one he used, and I was like, okay, I got my pricing. Like I said, guys, that's all I need to do. As soon as I see numbers, times, dates, if it's self-paced, don't get me started on my self-paced journey, because I will be talking about all the things I did in the 1 year after getting divorced. I did touch on a lot of the things, that I started to do, all in the first year of being divorced, just in that separation. Like instead of, like all those years that I spent thinking about it, and then I was like, okay, let me try it. And I did all those things in a year. And so I want to talk about how I fast tracked that on my own. And maybe just give you guys like some things that worked for me, and hopefully they'll work for you. And like, it starts with just like getting the confidence to just be able to do it. Cause sometimes that stuff's daunting. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes things are daunting and I'm just like, okay, well, what do I have to do? Read something, watch a video, like, oh, okay, I could do that. Okay, well, how hard is, like, how much do I have to study for the test? Like, and like, so it's one of those things. So I am going to start like probably binge watching some stuff on it before I get started. But I started looking into it. So, getting the funds up for that, I will be a court reporter. In 2026, we're just going to mark that right now. In 2026, I will be a court reporter. I don't know when, who, why, where I said I was going to be a real estate agent, like out loud. Like it's just been a thought. And then I started studying for it like a couple years ago. And then last year I became one. Or earlier this year I became one. Like I finished from the year before. And like, I'll tell you guys all the time, like if I tell you something like that, y'all just watch out. I promise you, give it no less than 6 months. I will be a court reporter as well, guys. I'm already looking into it. And, you know, as I look into it, it's going to be more plausible, more like tangible. And I'm going to just do it. And then I'll be able to come on here and share with you guys. Because my idea too is to share all these steps, because a lot of us, don't know where to start. That's one of the things. I don't blame people, because I myself, as diligent as I can be about research and asking questions and finding a group and talking to people, sometimes I just can't figure out how to start stuff. I just can't like get a grasp on how to start stuff. And that's why I always tell people, like, I always look out of the box for ways to do whatever it is I'm interested in. So another segue in that way is like becoming like, I mean, I've started modeling, and like before I was like pursuing it, and I was trying to figure out how to get into it. I couldn't even really get a photo shoot together. And then I wasn't pursuing it, and I kind of like got dropped into it, and then it built on from there. To get like different shoots and runway or like shows or whatever. So, and I'm still building that, but like, that's something that, you know, I didn't know how to start, and looking into it and trying to figure it out and all these things. So with some things, when you Google it, even with ChatGPT, some of the stuff is so obscure. And when I first looked up the court reporting, there's like all these certifications, and add this one and take that one away and double up on this one. And it was just so confusing. And I'd found videos about it, and I just still could not understand. So, I mean, I am still learning, and it is something that I am interested in. So I will be learning it, and I do know more about it than before I start. And that's not what's stopping me. Like, telling you right now, guys, I'm telling you right now, because when it came down to it, I had learned everything I needed to learn about being a notary. I had built my page and everything before I ever even had the money up for my commission. Okay. I didn't have a dime for a commission, and I did everything before I even had the money up. So, that's why I'm like, no. And then even with being a real estate agent, I stopped for a few months, started it up, got it together, and like, it's not stopped right now, but it is paused because I have my license, and my brokerage just needs me to have a realtors association, and that is a lot of dollars. So we are getting the dollars up for that, so we can start practicing as a real estate agent. And I've held this brokerage for months now. That's the sad part. It's just because of the transitions. It just didn't pan out financially. So I've thought that I would get there before then, but it's okay, because that's what we're going to do. We're just going to keep pushing forward, because when the money comes, then I can do it, because I've already started everything. You see? So, so court reporting is next in line. And at this point, I'm going to tell you a little tidbit here too, guys. So, I love seeing those stories where like a mom is like at all odds. She's got, 5 kids, and she's got her doctorate. Like, she goes and she graduates with her doctorate, and she's got like 5 little kids. And like, it's a little bit of an exaggeration, but I've literally seen women with like literally 5 kids and getting like bachelor's degrees and stuff like that. And I always am like, I love a woman that's like, either when she gets bored or when she's like, okay, at this time in my life, I'm doing a pivot. And she's just like, let me get a degree. And like, women will just go and get dozens of degrees. Now, the thing is, like I said, pivot. I love to pivot, restart. The thing is that as much as I have the desire to do a degree, I do have something that I would like to get a degree in, digital marketing, of course. That school is just like actual like school, like having to have a long-term thing. It's just not something that is feasible for me right now. So I'm like, you know what I told myself, guys? I was like, women go out and get a bunch of degrees back to back. Why don't I get a whole bunch of certifications back to back? Because that's even like, certifications only take a few months. So let's rack them up, stack them up, right? So basically that's also the thing too. It's like, what can I do next? Well, I got a few months to spare. So yeah, so that certification is coming next. And I'm trying to think of other stuff that I do. I feel like I got caught up the last time. I was like, what else do I do? Field inspections is another thing that I'm interested in doing, but I don't know what to start. But just starting in general with the things that I do know how to start, guys, I'm going to go on with you because I know how difficult that is. And that's another reason why I started this podcast too, because one, I want to know, guys, I'm just nosy. I want to know all the business stuff. Okay. I want to know how you started your business. I want to know all the inspirational things that you did to start your business. Okay. That's why I wanted to know. But for people that are interested in the business that someone is talking about, or like the general aspect of the stuff, it's like, if you don't know how to start it, maybe someone else can give you a different way to look at it to get started. Because like, oh my God, prime example. So I was on TikTok the other day, and there is this young black marine biologist, and they said, how did you get into school? And I don't know his backstory. It's just this quick video about him saying that he started like researching, I guess, like different professors or scientists or something, and he started working with them, and then he got like free credits and a scholarship to go to school, something like that. And I said, I didn't even know that was like a thing. I didn't know there was ways around like getting scholarships or getting like into certain programs. I didn't know that. And I love to tell people that like, we got to stop thinking about stuff is like, even with the court reporting thing, I'm not just looking at I'm looking at it in different ways. Like, okay, how do I get the money up? Is there another way I could take a route? Is there something else? Is there a payment plan, project one? I'm trying to figure out different things. And with that, I'm like, okay, I like to tell people, like, sometimes we're worried about, how to do it in one manner, and we're not thinking about all these other ways that or even saying, hey, is there another way? Does that make sense? Like, to become a doctor, like, no, there's no way around you can't like not go to medical school type thing. But maybe like, you're like, okay, maybe I want to be a nurse and then become a doctor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you thinking about like the low term, like become a CNA and then become a nurse and then become a doctor? Like, take those levels up, because, you can start smaller, get the knowledge, get money up. You see what I'm saying? So that's also been my thing. That's why I added like those services that I can start now as well. Because those will help me get the money up, help me, pursue things, learn new things that I can do. But always look at things in a different way too, like that. So, if you guys want to know how to start certain things, being a notary is super easy. Well, at least in Florida, I don't know everywhere, but it's super easy. Just ask ChatGPT, ask Google, how do I become a notary in my state? That's all you got to do. But in Florida, it's really simple. The program that I did, it was, you have to read like this thing. It says 3 hours. It's timed. It doesn't take 3 hours to read. It's just timed for 3 hours. And you have to read, it's like the laws and stuff like that of what you're doing. And then you have to fill out all this paperwork for your commission. There is no test or anything in Florida. There's no like thing you have to pass. You literally just buy into your commission. After that, like, you have to read the information. Is there a test or a little question? Maybe. I don't think there's even a question. I think you just read it and then you do your commission paperwork. So the place that I did, they did the commission for just your notary stamp and your online notary. You do have to be a notary first and then an online notary. But with the way that I have the one that I had, it was one transaction. So it was easier that way. One platform that I had to worry about. Some of them are split. Some of them only do one. Just so you know, guys. And I did it. And then, once you fill out all your paperwork, you send in your paperwork, you actually need a notary. Do you need a notary? Yeah, you need or maybe it's a notary for maybe you need forgive me, I can't even remember. It's been like a year and a half. But then you go back onto the platform and then you do the RON course, the remote online notary course. And simple, it just explains to you like what you're doing. Forgive me, I don't remember. Maybe there's like a little questionnaire, like a multiple choice thing. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think it's anything like drastic, like a little course, like did you understand what you read type of thing. And then you fill out all the paperwork again. You do have to wait for your commission for your regular notary to come, and then you can become an online notary because you have to send that paperwork and processing and stuff like that. Then you become a remote online notary. Then you have to sign up with different platforms to work on. And that's the basics of becoming a notary. Then to become a loan signing agent, this is another one you need. I am probably not going to take the course again, or at least right now. But I did opt to take the course first so that I could get all the books and the information and learn. But you can just get your background check, pay for the background check with the NNA, and then do it that way. Or you can take the course and get certified, because a lot more places do like you to be certified, and it does give you more knowledge. So at least initially, look into doing the course first. But yeah, to keep certified, you want to do it every year. But so that one's decently simple enough. The course, study for it. I got one of those like prep courses, so it had like all the stuff in it. And then a lot of the stuff that I talk about, you don't need a certification or anything to add it to your notary services. But that's some of the stuff I'm expanding on. I guys told you my trials and tribulations with being a real estate agent, even though I'm really proud of myself. I'm trying to make sure I get everything together, because that means that in like 6 months I have to redo my continuing education for my real estate thing, and I haven't been able to practice yet. And I'm not just sitting on my license. That makes me so sad, because I'm not sitting on my license. I'm just like not able to do anything with it right now. But everything else will push through, and that's coming soon. So I'm excited. So those are, like some of my pitfalls and setbacks and get back ups and things like that. And I have a lot of things in the works, and I always share them on here. This is like my place to like brain dump the information I'm like always telling everybody. I do want to just preface this, because I'm going to bring this back up again. Later on, I'm going to do a podcast episode. I'm going through my notes. So guys, if you hear paper turning right now, I'm going through my notes, because I'm going to write that down right now. That I will be doing a podcast about the next thing I'm about to say. But I have decided that I will no longer be giving my knowledge and information out for free anymore. It's not happening anymore, guys. In 2026, it's already started, but in 2026, you will not be getting any information out of me for free. You just won't. Okay. And what do I mean by that? Not, I'm going to start charging you guys to listen to me talk and yammer on, but it means that you couldn't catch me in the street telling you this stuff. You won't catch me in the street telling you these things. Okay. And just a brief intro about it is because, one, I spent years, that's why I started my YouTube channel. I spent years explaining to people these things and being like, blah, 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 blah. And one, it's so hard to keep up with words that people say. I could tell you a million things that you're going to remember 3 things. So one, it's no reference back, and then I have to repeat myself, and there's a lot of talking involved, and it's like, oh, and another thing, right? So one, it's just complicated to talk that way, and it's easier to put it on a platform and have something to reference to. But 2, people often find, even when they ask, because this is not always unsolicited, not saying it's never unsolicited, but people don't really take heed. And I don't even mean like listen wise, like they really just one ear and out the other. And I'm like, I just told you all of these amazing gems of life, and like you asked me. Like, I'm not mad at the unsolicited people that are just sitting there with like a deer in headlights because I'm going blah, 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 blah. But like, I I've been thinking it for so long, and while I have opened up coaching as well, because I want to show people that, like, some people need the, like, one-on-one. There's nothing wrong with that. And some people, like, they might have specific questions they want, to get in my ear, or pick my brain or whatever. So I want to open that up, but, like, I don't mean it in the sense of, like, you always have to pay. I mean, like, you guys are listening. That view is worth, like, millions to me. Each view is worth millions to me, because it's like, I'm inspiring you in some way. You keep coming back. You keep listening. You're interested in what I'm talking about. It resonates with you in some way. It aligns with whatever you have going on. So that is very valuable to me. And y'all have something to reference. So if you came to me and asked me a question, because you have a question from my podcast, like, you listened to me. So, like, you wanted to know more. You want to pick my brain. So, like, that's what I mean by, like, I am no longer giving my information out for free. So, and also let me just preface, because I didn't mention, I have ebooks now too, guys. So I have ebooks where you guys, and I don't just, on my Shauna J. Wade page too, it's like, I talk about, that's more like lifestyle stuff, right? Like all the stuff I do on there. But like on here, it's business. But like, I talk about anything, and I'm making a video about it. There's something to reference. And I make ebooks for business. It's mainly, right now I have stuff, and it's geared toward notaries, but it's not only for notaries. It's just that it's like, well, if you're a notary, it would work for you in this way, but like, you can literally be in any business and use my tools that I've created. So I'll leave the Gumroad link below for you guys to check that out as well. But my ebooks, I have like free things that you can get to help your business, and I've got paid books and guides and stuff for your business. But that's what I'm saying. Like, these are things that I've been talking about on this podcast, talking about in real life. And even I have free stuff on there you guys can get, and like stuff that I've shown, I have stuff on there for free for you guys, but you're still like clicking on my links and showing that you want this information. And that's the thing. It's like, I want to give the information and not run out of breath, if that makes sense. And I also don't think it's very feasible that you don't have a reference. And with my coachings is something that is going to be recorded. So I will be recording those coachings with you guys so that you guys can refer back to it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you were to pay for a coaching from me, you're going to get that file as well. So you can be like, wait, she told me this, and this, let me reference back to it. Because were you going to call me every week to ask me the same questions? No. You done forgot, you ain't put notes down? No. You're going to reference to the thing. So this is why I say that, because it can be a lot out there. And especially I put through so much effort with these things. Like, even the things that I feel like, oh, it's not that much effort. The fact that I'm putting any effort in is effort. Because I could be resting, I could be doing something else that, I don't know, just for joy. I mean, just for, funsies or whatever. Like, I enjoy doing this, but just like, I don't know, lounging on I don't know. But I want to open these things up, and I like talk about them for you guys, because like, a lot of us are doing that. And I want us to really channel ourselves. And that's another reason I can't keep giving my information out of myself, because giving out information for free, because I'm not able to channel it. Like, I have all this knowledge and I can't channel it. So with my ebooks, right? So like I said, they're geared toward notaries, but they're broad. One of the ebooks is an affiliate marketing ebook. And while it's geared towards notaries, it's something I've wanted to talk about for years. If you guys know my Shauna J. Ray personal page, I've been into affiliate marketing in various ways for like almost 10 years. And I've always wanted to talk about it on a scale of like, guys, like, y'all don't understand like how simple and how easy the basis of this is, that y'all could just start making money. So I basically wanted to tie that into a book. And as I'm recording this right now, the ebook is almost ready to be on pre-sale. By the time this comes out, it will be on pre-sale. By the time this episode comes out, it should be on pre-sale already. So you guys can check that out and get the pre-sale for it. But I have been wanting to talk about affiliate marketing forever, and I think being able to scale it, to niche it down, to talk to notaries, made it something more easy for me to talk to, because it was like on a broad scale, it's really hard. But I kind of was able to like, okay, it's for notaries, and I'm really focusing on more of like learning that affiliate marketing is a thing, and like in depth, without like, you're learning in depth about it, how simple it is or how simple it can be, and then you're learning how to market it. It's not just like here's affiliate marketing and these are the things that you could do to make money, but like I go a little bit more in depth on like ways to make money, and it's kind of the simplicity like side. So I guess it's not just like a broad spectrum of like affiliate marketing, but it kind of is. But then it's more on that, like, how do you actually market this stuff in real life? Like, not on like a business level, in real life. Like, these things don't have to be an ad for a commercial or something for like it doesn't have to be that serious, and it doesn't have to be sloppy or like whatever for business, but like it doesn't have to, like, it does need to be real life a little bit more. And if we learn it that way, it makes it a little bit easier. And then when you want to put it into your business, it makes it even easier, because you're like, oh, I know how to share this in real life. So that's where my mind is on the affiliate marketing book. And I just want to preface that is a paid thing. And like I said, it's on pre-sale. By the time this comes out, it should be on pre-sale. And if it's not, just check in for it to be on pre-sale shortly after this. After you hear this, it will be on pre-sale. But yeah, so it's something that I've been able to niche down, and that made it easier. So I am going to share these things with you. It is something that I've just started building my digital products, but I have began, and I'll continue to talk as I get new products rolling out, because I do have like 4 or 5 new things that I will be coming out with by the time, probably before 2026, probably before Christmas, I'll be coming out with some stuff. I am recording this on the 29th of November. And I plan on having that ebook out in the next week. My birthday is coming up on the 7th. So I want to have it out before then. I want to have it out with stuff, with other, things that I have in the pipeline as well. So I just got to get working on that. I did want to record a few videos back to back. That hasn't happened yet. I've only been able to get, this is the 2nd episode, and I've like wanted to like sit down for a day and get a couple out so I can like push them out so you guys can get more value back to back. So I am working on that. I really appreciate you guys even jumping in here. Make sure you guys are sharing my podcast too, please, guys, because I want everybody to know that I am here again and find some value over here if you guys liked this these episodes. So I am coming off of here, and I'm going to keep recording. I'm going to stay consistent. I'm going to come back on here and give you guys more content like this. And, hopefully you guys will keep coming back. I really want to start this podcast off probably 2 to 3 days a week. My goal is probably 5 days a week. I know that sounds ambitious, but I have so much stuff that I've wanted to talk to you guys about. So if I can record a few times and push these things out, schedule them for you guys will have nonstop information to hopefully binge watch on your way to work. I am still getting like a schedule down, like as I record, because I am starting back up, but I'm going to put some accountability on my name right now. So right now I am trying to push this out. I'm not sure. I think I said Monday and Friday. Right now, Monday and Friday, I don't even know what the first is right now, but I did schedule the first podcast episode for the first. But so Monday and Friday at 8:30, so you guys can hear that on your way to work for the new episodes. And hopefully if I can get up to 5 days a week, you'll have an episode every day of the week on the way to work, on the way to whatever endeavor you have for the morning, taking the kids. If you're like a stay-at-home mom or something, building a side hustle, building a business, building anything, doing any of these things, I want to start you guys off in the morning with these inspirational stories and interviews and things like that. So keep listening. More, more life stories, more things that relate to, building a business like we're doing, guys. And I also just want to end this too by saying I'm really proud of you guys, because starting by listening to this podcast or anything similar to it or reading anything similar is really going to do nothing but put positive noise in your ear and make you succeed in ways that you'll never understand, even when you're in it. So I hope the best for each and every one of you guys. Make sure you guys get on to my page, Raising Bosses, on Instagram and Facebook. Make sure you like, follow, share, repost, send it to your friends, guys. Make sure you guys jump back on and stay tuned. Until next time.